Hello everyone, I'm Sneha. Back to my YouTube channel, Story Session with Sneha. I was reading out to you a story, The Depth by Maupassant, and as I have told you, you will have to be with me till the end, the climax of the story, to imbibe the rawness and the truth, the harsh reality which was there in the past, which is prevalent now in present, and it will be in future. So I hope all of you are really excited to listen to the next part of it. So let's get started with it. When the old man was dead, he died in the hospital. The child started, dressed in an old coat of his grandfather's, and with 30 francs, which was all that the old man had left him, in his pocket. But when he got to Paris, there was nobody of the name at the address mentioned on the letter. The dead man's brother had left there 6 months before. Nobody knew where he had gone to, and so the child was alone. For a few days he managed to exist on what he had over after paying for his journey. After he had spent his last francs, he had wandered about the street as he had no money with which to pay for a bed, buying his bread by the halfpenny oath, until for the last 48 hours he had been without anything, absolutely without anything. He told her all this while he was half asleep, amid sobs and yawns, so that the girl did not venture to ask him any more questions, in spite of her curiosity, but, on the contrary, cut him short and undressed him while she listened, and only interrupted him to kiss him and to say to him, "There, there, my poor child, you shall tell me the rest tomorrow. You cannot go on, so go to bed and have a good sleep." And as soon as he had finished, she put him to bed, where he immediately fell into a profound sleep. Then she undressed herself quickly, got into the bed by his side so that she might keep him warm, and went to sleep, crying to herself without exactly knowing why. The next day they breakfasted and dined together at the common eating house on money that she has borrowed, and when it was dark she said to the child, "Wait for me here. I'll come for you at closing time." She came back sooner, however, about 10 o'clock. She had 12 francs, which she gave him, telling him that she had earned them, and she continued with a laugh, "I feel that I shall make some more. I'm in luck this evening, and you have brought it to me. Do not be impatient, but have some milk posset while you are waiting for me." She kissed him, and the kind girl felt real maternal happiness as she went out. An hour later, however, she was arrested by the police for having been found in a prohibited place, and off she went. And the child, who was turned out by the proprietor at closing time, and then driven from the furnished lodging the next morning, where they told him that tall Fanny was in jail, began his wretched vagabond life in the street again, with only the 12 francs to depend on. 15 years afterward, the newspaper announced one morning that the famous Fanny Clarion, the celebrated horizontal, whose caprices had caused a revolution in high life, that queen of frail beauties, for whom 3 men had committed suicide, and so many others had ruined themselves, that incomparable living statue who had attracted all Paris to the theatre, where she impersonated Venus in her transparent skin tights made of woven air and a knitted nothing, had been shut up in a lunatic asylum. She had been seized suddenly. It was an attack of general paralysis, and as her debts were enormous, when her estate had been liquidated, she would have to end her days at La Saptevi. "No, certainly not," Francois Grelland, the painter, said to himself, when he read the notice of it in the paper. "No, the great Fanny shall certainly not end like that, for it was certainly she. There could be no doubt about it. For a long time after she had shown him the act of charity, where he could never forget, the child had tried to see his benefactress again. But Paris is a very mysterious place, and he himself had had many adventures before he grew up to be a man and eventually almost somebody. But he only found her in distance. He had recognized her at the theatre, on the stage, or as she was getting into her carriage, which was fit for a princess. And how could he approach her then? Could he remind her of the time when her price was 5 francs? No, assuredly not. And so he had followed her, thanked her, and blessed her from a distance. Thank you for listening to my story. I'll be coming up with the next part of it in my next video. Till then, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.